Now that we know that proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids are our biological molecules, let's see exactly what they are made up of. The biological molecules are also called organic molecules. They are organic molecules because they contain carbon atoms that are covalently bonded to other elements. Now, when we say a covalent bond in chemistry, it just means that the atoms are sharing electrons instead of one atom giving the electron to the other. This time around, they are sharing the electrons. Now, organic molecules are usually called hydrocarbons. They are made up of carbon and then hydrogen. So organic molecules are usually called hydrocarbons. Now, let's see the components. Over here, we have our biological molecules. In our first column, we have the elements carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen occupying the next 4 columns respectively. Now, when we take protein, protein has carbon present. Protein has hydrogen present. A protein molecule has oxygen in there, and then a protein molecule also has nitrogen in there. So proteins have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen molecules in their structure or in their formula. When we take lipids, which we usually call the fats and oils, they have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen only, no nitrogen present. Carbohydrates, just like lipids, also have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen only, no nitrogen present. Now let's look at some structures and then see if they are really true. There's a glucose structure. Now here we see that there's carbon here. So we found carbon in our glucose. There's hydrogen in there. Hydrogen here, hydrogen everywhere. So we have hydrogen also present in our glucose. And then next we have oxygen present in the glucose. Now let's see if we have any other elements there. There are no other elements there. This one here is just showing us where we started our counting from. That is very advanced, so we will not touch on that now. This one is not part of the structure. Now there's a lipid molecule. Lipids are usually made up of 2 parts, the glycerol and then fatty acids part. We talk about that in our later classes. But for a lipid molecule, let's see the elements in there. We have carbon atoms present, carbon everywhere. So we have carbon in there. We also have hydrogen in there. Lipids also have oxygen in their structure. Here we have oxygen atoms in there. Now, when we look closely, we see that there are no other elements present. So lipids, just like carbohydrates, have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms only. Leucine is a type of protein. Now in the leucine structure, we have carbon, a chain of carbon atoms. So there's carbon in there. We have hydrogen atoms bonded to the carbon atoms. So there's hydrogen in there. We have oxygen atoms also present here and here. We have oxygen in there. And then this special atom, nitrogen atom, making this a protein. So the difference is that carbohydrates and then lipids do not have nitrogen, but protein has nitrogen. In summary, we learned that the body of an organism needs nutrients for growth, repair, and metabolism. The 3 main nutrients are carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. These nutrients are called organic molecules because they all contain carbon atoms covalently bonded to other elements. And for the other elements, we can talk of hydrogen, we can talk of oxygen, and then when we have proteins, we can also add nitrogen to that. All these 3 biological molecules contain the elements that I have stated.